Nintendo Switch Sports is the new generation remake of your grandpa's favorite game series, Wii Sports. Tennis, bowling, and golf are the returning classics, with 4 new sports being volleyball, badminton, shambara, and soccer. As fun as these games are offline with your friends, my stream challenged me to beating all of these sports online in one go. If we lose the sport in the run, we reset from the beginning. So here's how I beat Nintendo Switch Sports, but online. We start off with badminton. It is definitely the easiest sport to play, but it has one flaw. The person serving almost always loses the point. This is because the returning player automatically could get a yellow hit, having more speed and a tighter window to receive properly. And if not timed well, you can send up a weak blue shot, giving your opponent a powerful purple spike that is almost impossible to return online. There's not a lot of strategy here. I just hope that I can return their yellow hit with my own yellow to break down their stamina. Although we started off slow, a couple lucky breaks give us the edge and we win our first sport. Shambara is next, and I got off to a bad start, immediately losing the first round. This sword fighting game is all about reading your opponent and striking at their openings. A blue highlight means they are blocking, and you want to hit them in the same direction that they are holding their sword. If you don't manage to land a clean hit, you'll get put into a stunned state that leaves you vulnerable to free damage. The end goal is to knock your opponent out of the ring in a best of 3. My opponent was persistent on holding a diagonal block in order to charge up his sword and then counterattack, but I saw through this relatively easily after our first round. After a tie in round 2, I was completely over his shit and clutched up to send us to sudden death on the small platform. This last round was close, but I fought back from the edge and I won to bring us to game 3, volleyball. Volleyball is one of 2 team sports, meaning I need to get lucky and have a good teammate. Luckily, our opponents were randoms as well, making this a truly equal matchup. In Switch volleyball, you want to chain perfect passes in order to get a purple spike, your best chance of scoring. On the defense, the blocker wants to pick one side of the spiker to block, while the teammate in the back moves to the opposite side, forcing either a guaranteed block or an easy return. The infamous Nintendo Online lag can make this sport way harder, as sometimes your inputs don't come out in time in order to make that crucial save. And we're gonna blame this one on the lag too. I'm sorry, teammate. Please forgive me. But my teammate was actually a monster, and we ended up trading a couple rounds, but finally coming out on top. So with 3 out of the 7 down, it was on to the 4th. Soccer is the remaining team game, this time in a 4-on-4 setting, which makes it the hardest sport to win consistently as there are too many variables when playing with so many randoms. You want to try and work together with at least one of your teammates solely playing defense. However, there is no real way to communicate and it always devolves into pure chaos. This game is what typically will end a run, and for some reason I didn't do this sport first. The rules are simple, it's just soccer. Pass around and shoot into your opponent's goal. But we started off going down 2 goals due to, we'll just say, unfortunate events. There is a chance for the golden ball to spawn, giving 2 points when scored. Lucky for us, my team just so happened to turn on the jets and we tied it up to take us into a sudden death. The hardest part about this game is aiming your shots can be very finicky with the Joy-Cons, and a lack of stamina can really drag the entire game out. And, just like volleyball, I got carried into winning the hardest sport of this challenge. Moving on. Bowling, in my opinion, is the second hardest sport as you're up against 15 other players all aiming to get the top score. Nothing has really changed here from the original Wii Sports, and most humans should be familiar enough to land a few strikes, making each player a possible run ender. And holy hell was I off to a slow start, not picking up my first strike until frame 6. It also definitely didn't help that my chat was playing the most annoying music through Nightbot to try to mess me up because I was so far through the run. But we persevere, and with another strike on frame 9, I set myself up for a clear victory. On frame 10, I pick up another spare and then a strike on the final frame to secure my victory and move on to the 6th sport, tennis. Tennis should also be a familiar game for most. However, in this version, you play with 2 different clones of yourself instead of having a random teammate like in volleyball. The biggest change from Wii Sports is your swings having more directional influence, typically resulting in hits that are going to land out of play way more often than in the previous title. I would say that this is my weakest sport as I really don't have a strategy. I just try to stay consistent and return the balls the best that I can. I realize my opponent is having some issues with lag, so I just keep returning them as fast as I can and I immediately go up 5-0. But my opponent was definitely not going out without a fight and brought it all the way back to 5-3, making it a close game. At this point, I had to turn off song requests as my chat was spamming me with Coco Melon, which was really throwing off my game. And if we've learned anything from this run so far, I'm always going to keep fighting. And I reach match point and clutch it out, sending us to our final sport, golf. Golf, unlike all the other sports, is truly an individual effort. While you tee off with 7 other players, there are no bonuses to being the first to score. Time is on your side here, and keeping your composure is the only way to secure a victory. And after hitting it into the water on my first stroke, things start to get ugly. Stick drift is an infamous Joy-Con problem and is your biggest enemy in golf, causing your aim to drift slightly out of your control. And after getting a bogey on hole 1, I start to get a little nervous. A clean drive off the tee sets us up well on the second hole. And after getting a chance for birdie, I miss not 1, but 2 putts and end up with another bogey. At this point, I was extremely nervous that I was going to lose the run, but somehow I was still in second place and headed into the semifinals. I bounced back hard on the third hole with some gorgeous plays, getting onto the green in just 2 hits in order to secure the birdie and move us up into first place. Yeah, I definitely needed that one. The fourth hole is a difficult par 3 with uphill terrain and lots of wind, making it almost impossible to land on the green on our first stroke. I hit a gorgeous chip and bounce off the flagpole, setting us up for a birdie and a guaranteed first place. God, I hate golf. Long story short, the final hole is a long par 5, and we end with a medium-level putt to secure the victory. And you're probably thinking, just like my happy self is celebrating there on stream, that this challenge was over. However, there's one last sport, the random category. And what did I get? Volleyball. It didn't matter because I am the GOAT, and that is how I beat Nintendo Switch Sports, but online. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you guys end up attempting this challenge in the comments below. See ya!